Hi, so welcome back to part three of the assignment about our client Elsa. So here are the recommendations that I'm going to try to make. So her main concerns are in the area of dry skin, dry hair, constipation, and anxiety. With this in mind, I have worked out that most of these concerns are Vata related, and therefore there must be some sort of Vata accumulation. So there's an increase of Vata. So what we're looking to do is to stabilize, to regulate her Vata, and keeping in mind that her age is, so she's on a Pitta life, stage of life. So there may be some Pitta concerns coming up in the future, but if we regulate Vata first, in particular Apana Vata, then we can she can find some relief in terms of anxieties, in terms of I think all of these concerns will kind of regulate themselves eventually. So I'm not so sure I will do an Amapachana because she's quite skinny. She's on the skinny side. And my understanding is that in this particular case, because it sounds like from what she eats and from the lifestyle that she has, there's a lot of dry food, there's a lot of raw food, there's quite a lot of stuff that can increase the dryness in her body, can increase this feeling of anxiety. So I would recommend something nourishing, a Vata diet, but nourishing Vata diet. And with that in mind, we can look at, so we're talking about opposing qualities and what's causing this. Primarily it's work related, I think, because it sounds like her life is, she's quite happy with what she does in her lifestyle, in also her job. She likes the job, but it seems like there's quite a lot of stress connected to work. And I'm not so concerned about the times. So I'm not going to say, I don't want to overwhelm her, because when you have anxiety, you tend to have, like, you're overwhelmed with thoughts and stresses. So you don't want to accumulate on that. So I know she's aware of, she goes to bed quite early. Sounds like she goes to bed quite early. She wakes up very early. So what I'm going to recommend, and she does a lot of exercise. I think that's primarily my main concern, is actually the amount of exercise. So I would recommend that she can introduce meditation in her life if she wants, and then briefly, like twice a day or once a day, she can find a spot where she can do this 10 minutes of meditation. Doesn't have to be that many because her day is quite full already. So I'm just going to suggest you can do some meditation, like 10 minutes, I don't know, before lunch, 10 minutes before dinner. And then main meal should be around lunchtime. So the main meal should be around 12 to 2, like we always recommend. And that's where I'm going to suggest whether she can introduce cooked meals. So whether she cooks them or she can find, I don't know, dal made at Planet Organic, Whole Foods, or, if she has access to cooked, nourishing foods, and I have a list of Vata foods that I can send her, Vata foods like, making dals, but it could be a lot to take in, but I would suggest like main meal, lunchtime, quite nourishing, quite oily, quite heavy. The tastes that we're going to recommend are sweet, salt, and sour, which will decrease Vata. But mainly the food should be cooked, so no sandwiches, no raw food, or at least, if she can bring that down and have this main meal and lunch. Maybe they do 5-10 minute meditation before the meal if she cannot do it in the morning. And then talk to her about calming qualities. So we don't want to mention the stress anymore because we have a lot of stress already going on here. So we can talk about, you know, how to bring these calming qualities into her life. And already the meditation has that calming quality connected to it. The nourishing, the idea of something nourishing also could introduce this element of calmness. And yoga, it looks like she enjoys like very active, very strenuous exercise, including yoga, active yoga. So again, I'm just going to suggest whether she can look at other types of yoga. So mention hatha yoga, or you know, something that is a little bit more grounding as well, because anxiety can mean that the person is not necessarily very grounded too. So I don't know, work with the earth element and then do some grounding yoga. But again, this could be a lot of information to take in. So the main thing I'm just gonna mention is the nourishing meal around noon with sweet and salt and sour. The meditation, 10 minutes meditation, 5 to 10 here and there, but always at the same time, primarily at the same time. We are happy with the time that she goes to bed, so maybe she can reduce the amount of work or like calm down just before going to bed. So reduce the time on the computer or avoid doing all these strenuous exercises at night. And then I do have some suggestions. I haven't taken the herbology class, but I try. Based on my experience primarily. So her appetite doesn't sound like very exciting, and I've been there, done that. So I'm going to suggest Digest Plus or Acid. I don't know if it's called Digest Plus here. I think it's called something different. Digest Tone. Before lunch, if she has a big meal, two tablets before lunch, because it increases the appetite. And then perhaps a sweet lassi. I think she will need more sweet than salty, because it's really, the idea of sweetness relates to her. She needs a boyfriend, not necessarily. And then Triphala before going to bed. So I'm not sure about the timings about Triphala. I'm gonna follow what you said. So 9:30, 9:30, 2 to 3 tablets. That's for the constipation. Constipation is also Vata related. So if we start introducing nourishing foods and Triphala at night, and then drink water. So the main part, she drinks a lot of water. So I'm just gonna say, okay, you already drink a lot of water. Why don't we just put the cold water to the side? And she does know about this because she doesn't drink in cold. She drinks in room temperature. So we can suggest to boil the water for like 1 to 2 minutes in the morning, you know, and then take the flask with her and drink it throughout the day, and then perhaps do it again during the day. Put some spices in it if she likes to. I would recommend cinnamon, but I don't know where she lives, so it depends where she lives as well, because if it's quite hot, you don't want to heat up the body too much. But I definitely something calming. Cardamom would be good. I made a note on honey, but honey is not suggested in the list of Vata foods, so I'm just going to stay away from honey. Vata Churna with her meals if she can, and then best thing, Vata tea before going to bed. So the Vata tea in the evening, that's gonna be her, if she can. I would just put pressure on that. Just gonna give it to her. I love Vata tea. It makes you sleep very well. So primarily like a little bit of diet and lifestyle changes, but not too many, because we don't want to overwhelm her. The massage, the nausea, the pranayama, I think I will go into those maybe later, maybe like in a month or so. I think that this is a good time for her to start exploring this idea of nourishment, calmness, groundedness. If she finds something that can you know, it's just becoming familiar with the idea of it, because if you're not familiar with lassi and all this like dal and this and that, it can become like, oh my god. And plus it doesn't sound like she cooks that much, so again, you don't want to just overwhelm. But I think the main things now are introducing this idea of meditation, reducing the time in front of the computer, changing the times for lunch, dinner, like a low dinner in the evening. But she can eat quite a lot because she's on the skinny side, so I think it will be good for her to eat quite regularly. And one thing I didn't mention, very important, breakfast. I know she doesn't sound very hungry, but breakfast would be a good thing, because she wakes up very early, so she wakes up at this time that she will need to do she will need something heavy in her body. Like, I don't even know how she does it, to be honest. I know you made her up, but there are people who do this. I cannot leave the house without breakfast, so I don't know. I don't even know what she can have for breakfast at this point, because I'm gonna give her the list of it could be some honey, some cinnamon, like toast maybe, that she can make for her, but something warm anyways. Oat porridge probably. I don't think she will like the porridge though. Yeah, so breakfast, lunch, a small dinner in the evening, milk. So we can talk about warm milk in the evening as well, but maybe later again. This is another thing that I would stay away from, like recommending too many things. Meditation twice a day, small bits of meditation here and there, but regular, because we have an irregularity in her. Digest Plus before lunch, trifle bedtime, sweet lassi if she likes the idea of it, vata churna, spices, cinnamon in particular, and then we're going to talk about massages later. Massage, nausea, the yoga, reduce the amount of workout, and then the yoga, whatever yoga she can come across that is nourishing. I don't know, there's so many types, like earth yoga, hatha yoga, earth element, depends if she lives in LA. She probably does, doesn't she? So I think that's it, and make sure that nothing is strenuous, and then that she follows the bliss that will come through the meditation. She follows the laws of nature. Everything should be in accordance with the laws of nature. She'll probably get into this anyway, because I'm pretty sure she's going to be excited about this. So I hope I covered everything, and lots of love. And references, do I need to put them? I don't know, maybe I'll put them in the notes, but it's you, Roxana. Lots of love, bye.